most people are aware that there are certain things that can't be brought into Australia from overseas or from mainland Australia into Tasmania. These things include fruit, raw fish, but also things like soil and wet fishing and boating equipment. The reason we need to keep these things out is because they may carry pests and diseases. These can cause major damage to our fisheries and agricultural industries, and also to our wildlife and wilderness that make Tasmania so special.
You won't be able to bring this one in today, sir?
So just like we can't bring in fruit and veggies, we need to be aware that there are other nasties we can't bring in as well.
And can we just have a look at your fishing rod, please?
Oh, sure. It's brand new and it's clean and dry.
Thank you.
It's not just when you come into Tasmania that you need to be careful about transporting nasty things around. Some of these things are already in the state and we don't want them to spread. Others may not have been detected yet, but good practice means you'll stop them spreading further if they manage to get in. The Tasmanian Southwest Wilderness World Heritage Area is a natural jewel for Tasmania. It's one of the most special places on the planet and we need to take care of it. Now, visitors and workers come to the World Heritage Area by foot, by car, by boat, even by air. Any form of travel may bring in things to the World Heritage Area that we don't want here. The good news is there are simple steps we can all take to keep these nasties out. But first, let's take a closer look at these pests and diseases. Chytrid, or frog fungal disease, which is already present in some parts of the state and is leading to the death of many frogs worldwide. Phytophthora, or root rot, also present in some parts of the state and kills many native plants. Mucor, or platypus fungal disease, which causes deadly lesions in platypus. Didymo, rock snot, a freshwater algal pest that smothers waterways and is a major pest in other parts of the globe, including New Zealand waters.
It's quite easy to spread Didymo around. It can be spread, for example, in neoprene, in the waders that fishermen use, in felt-soled shoes.
If Didymo came into Tasmania, it would be an absolute devastation. I've seen it over in New Zealand and how it's spread. It's a terrible thing.
The Biosecurity project was developed as a collaboration between TWWHA and NRM South. It was developed primarily to protect the World Heritage Area from a number of threats that have the potential to impact the plants and animals that live within the World Heritage Area. We're also developing principles that can be applied more broadly across Tasmania to protect various plant and animal species that live in other places and on private land.
We have some of the most amazing natural and cultural heritage anywhere in the world. So, you can look at our carnivorous marsupials, the Tassie devils or the quolls, things like the monotremes, the platypus and the echidna. Egg-laying mammals, it's so unique and quite often I think it's easy to take those things for granted. We're so lucky we've grown up with all these amazing animals all around us. People come from all around the world to see these species. Tassie's been compared to places like the Galapagos Island or the Amazon Basin for its animal species, and also the plant species which are found here as well are some of the most incredible things all around the world. So the Tasmanian devil facial tumour disease is obviously an extremely significant issue in Tasmania and obviously affecting the Tassie devils, and it's also very high profile. But some of these other waterborne pests and pathogens sort of go under the radar and we don't hear much about them, but they still have a huge detrimental effect to our natural heritage. Understanding how we can make small changes in our routines whenever we visit a natural area is really important, and we can help stop the spread of these nasty pests and pathogens.
All of these pathogens, weeds that we're talking about can be spread with mud and water. So with any water that we're using in the field, with mud on our boots and with mud on our vehicles and in our equipment, in our camping gear. So it's really important that we keep all of our equipment mud-free before we enter the World Heritage Area and also between sites when we're travelling within the World Heritage Area. So the protocols that we're putting in place involve a number of foot wash stations that will go in key potential pathogen entry points into the World Heritage Area. So they're very easy to use, basically for anyone who's a recreational park user who's planning to enter the World Heritage Area. It's just a matter of walking up to these foot wash stations, giving your boots a really good clean.
What we did when we were developing the protocols was look at the easiest way to apply protocols that would cover off on the most threats. So rather than having one protocol for one pest and one for another pest, we tried to consolidate those into one set. While it might appear a bit time-consuming when you first start doing it, it becomes part of your normal practice, and it's really important to make it a habit. I'd like to see all Tasmanians take up the protocols. I think we have not only the opportunity to prevent the spread of diseases into and within the World Heritage Area, but it also prevents the movement and spread of diseases around the different areas of Tasmania. So I think it's really important that we all take some responsibility for that.
The good thing is that while there are many potential risks, we can all take some easy steps to help prevent them from spreading. All of these pests and diseases can be spread in small amounts of contaminated soil or water, and so proper cleaning and disinfection can safeguard against them all. Remember, don't move soil, gravel, plants or animals between different locations. Don't use felt-soled boots. Instead, use gumboots or use waders made from PVC. Check, clean, disinfect and dry all equipment and boots. Anything that can get wet or muddy. There are additional videos here that explain exactly how best to clean your equipment. Please have a look at the one that best suits your activities. You can contact NRM South about obtaining an F10 disinfectant and compact hygiene kit. These procedures have been developed in cooperation with a wide range of groups who recognise the importance of protecting our wilderness areas, wildlife and recreational fisheries. These groups include NRM South, the Parks and Wildlife Service, the Department of Primary Industries, Parks, Water and Environment, Hydro Tasmania, Forestry Tasmania and many others including researchers and fishing groups.
As the world's becoming more connected, we're realising that humans have a huge role to play in spreading a number of different pathogens and weeds, as well as potentially pests around the world. And by spreading these things around the world, we have real potential to impact on local native populations. So it's really important that people realise the responsibility that they have.
We all have a personal responsibility to make these small changes to our process. So every time we come out of a natural environment, we can give these things a check, clean, disinfect and dry before we go into another place. And it's such a simple process. And we can also help protect our amazing natural and unique heritage.
Every dollar spent on prevention saves about $32 in control, and that's money that belongs to the whole community. You wouldn't bring an apple into Tasmania, and you wouldn't want to hurt our wildlife and wilderness with other pests and diseases. Have a look at the other videos in the series and at the online manual to see more details on what you can do. The responsibility sits with all of us, and the solutions are simple and easy to apply. Just a little bit of time, and you'll be helping keep Tasmania beautiful and healthy for everyone.